Art has always been a fascination, from admiring cinema to being a part of it. It's quite a journey. Hi, this is Smruti, a costume designer and the owner of label K Smruti. Graduated in fashion and textile design from Mumbai. I have always had a strong academic inclination and over the years have also received awards and certifications. My interest naturally moved towards the fashion illustration, garment construction and pattern making, which became the foundation of how I approach design today. For me, apparel designing wasn't just a dream, it was always an ambition, something I was certain about early on. I was always interested in films, theatre, and clothing, due to which I chose costume designing as my thesis in the graduating year. After graduating, I had the opportunity to work as an assistant designer with Milai Embroideries, which is Global Fashion Embroidery House of India, and with Texport Syndicate Garment Manufacturing Company, with which I get to have an understanding on workflow and structure of the manufacturing industry. I then moved into entertainment industry through television, working as an assistant costume stylist on reality shows like Comedy Circus, Laughter Ke Fatke, and Dance Premier League. It was here that I began to understand the pace of the industry, working closely with celebrities, adapting to demanding schedules and managing heavy workloads, yet still delivering the artistic output on time. I entered the Indian film industry with Abtak Chappan too, working as an assistant costume designer from the director Ezaz Gulab. I'm grateful for the opportunity to work alongside costume designer Mridil Patwardhan. My background in fashion and textiles and experience in garment manufacturing, along with an understanding of fabrics, supported me through sourcing, construction, and execution of the costumes. Atma marked my second project as an assistant designer, a film directed by Supan Verma. This film leaned more towards styling rather than construction, working across fashion forecasting, sourcing from different brands, developing color palettes, and accessorizing to build a look. The focus here was on shaping the character through styling, largely by sourcing from various brands to develop it further. I got my first break as an independent costume designer with the film Kapat, a Hindi regional film produced by VPG Panikar and written and directed by Milind Sagar. My second project as an independent designer was the Marathi film Shortcut, directed by Harish Raut. I really enjoyed working on this film. It revolved around youth, their ambition, greed for money, hunger for success, along with themes of internet, technology, and cybercrime. Accordingly, I developed the look of the characters, keeping in mind elements like refreshing color palettes, youthful clothing, fashionable accessories, and a more contemporary trending aesthetics. The songs of the film were very vibrant, and the director had a clear vision of bringing energy into the characters through color. The film was also well received for its music, with the songs gaining popularity especially for their visual appeal featuring the lead characters in stylish and trendy looks. I consider myself fortunate to have been a part of the film No Landsman, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to work with director Mustafa Farooqi. As a costume designer, it came with a certain responsibility to create looks that truly reflect the identity of each character. The film required representing a specific Pakistani community and its clothing sensibilities. Across individual characters to larger crowd sequences, including Army and CRPF personnel. Working within a short time frame and managing that scale was challenging, but somewhere along the way, I was able to find my rhythm and bring it together. Being part of a film with A.R. Rahman as composer and producer made it even more special. The film went on to receive international recognition, including the Audience Award at the Vessel Asian Film Festival, along with nominations at the Busan and Osaka Asian Film Festivals. One day, I got the opportunity to work with Malayalam director Mahesh Narayanan, a filmmaker known for his distinctive storytelling, and work with some of the industry's most respected actors. It was an opportunity I couldn't pass on. This short film was deeply driven by emotion, centered around family and relationships, with the core idea of appreciation to ONGC, dedicating it to their workers and people who are engaged in the service. And the narrative span across two different eras, which reflected in the costume design as well. Working within tight timelines and a constrained budget, it became a process that really tested my ability to adapt and deliver. In the end, seeing the final cut come together along with the director's appreciation was truly fulfilling. The Taj story was a turning point in my career as I had the opportunity to work with senior actors and take on greater responsibility. The process began with understanding the script, developing looks, aligning with the director's vision, and finalizing them with the actor's confirmation. Sourcing fabrics became integral, with careful attention to color palettes, textures, prints, and patterns. The narrative called for a ready-to-wear aesthetic rooted in authenticity. The look was completed with simple hairstyles and minimal makeup to reflect the characters with honesty. Recreating the 1970s era was particularly engaging. Working with vintage earthy tones, distinctive patterns, bootcut pants, broad collars with two pocket shirts, and European style blouse with bow. Alongside the creative process, it involved continuous preparation at late nights, on-set adjustment, and managing costumes at scale while ensuring everything came together on time. It was a film that demanded consistency, commitment, and attention to detail at every step. Costume design is the masterful craft of telling a visual story through the use of clothes. Film, television, commercials, and short films tells a story in a minutes. Audiences need to know who the people are. Costume design answers that questions before any words are spoken, using clothing as a medium to communicate a character's identity. The title of costume designer evokes a certain glamour. And actually, the job is closer to psychologist or sociologist who articulates their observations not in words but in the three-dimensional language of clothing. The garments reveal the essential nature of a character, the era in which they live, and whether the story is fantasy or reality based. Closer examination of their economic status, emotional state, and most revealing how they want to be perceived. There is a misperception that film set in present day are entirely shopped. While pieces may be purchased, they require fittings and customization, not to mention combination with other garments. We designers start with the script, then research the time period, technology, or other elements to inform our work. Sometimes an illustration is made and finally the garment is constructed or purchased. We designers have noted that when this moment takes place, the actor's posture, carriage, or demeanor may change. It is a complete transformation. Me as a designer worked with a team that included as an assistant costume designer, supervisor, cutter, fitter, pattern maker, sewer, tailor, dyers, shoemakers, and beaders. Some pieces can be rented from specialty costume houses, but some films and shows necessitate that each garment is constructed. Costume illustration is an instrument in translating the costume designer's verbal cues and ideas into a fully formed version of the costume as it begins to take form. It helps through the process of multiple changes, alterations, as demanded by script or concept changes. Illustration can be done by using various medium, ranging from traditional watercolor on paper to digital pencil and paint with elements to photo collage, or by using Procreate softwares in iPad. Because audiences understand the language of clothing intimately, the final costume can have an almost magical effect. The garment can live beyond its few moments on the screen to symbolize a feeling, a time, a cause, or even to be imbued with personal importance. It can be meaningful to a generation. Finally, it can have the personal meaning which transcends the original intent of the design. We as a costume designers don't set out to make icons, but as history demonstrated, we often do.